Good morning, Island fam. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another vlog. I am Nellz, and if you're new here, welcome. So I'm about to go brush Shara's teeth so that we can go get ready to go to the market. Well, we're ready. We just need to brush her teeth, and then we're going to the market to buy some vegetables and also to get some chicken, and then come back home so that we can start cooking. Cause today's Sunday and we need to get stuff done. Okay. Also, later on in this video, I am going to sit down with you guys and have a conversation about what's going on, the whole homesteading journey and me moving and all those things. I told you all in the last video, well, not in the last video, last two videos, that I was going to start my homesteading series and let you all know what's going on and how it's going. So this video is the beginning of that. Okay, so let's go to the market and then we'll come back and get started on that. I don't know if you all can see me. I can't really see myself, but I left the house and I forgot my glasses. And the neighbor's maniac dog is barking profusely. So we got a snow cone on the way home. You got a snow cone? Hey, Gilly. You got a snow cone? Hold it. Let's go. She's happy about her snow cone. You happy about your snow cone? She's not talking. She's starting to drink. Addressed. First things first. Why I moved. So, in December of 2024, Christmas Day to be exact, I got engaged to my fiance. If y'all didn't already know, if you're following me on Instagram, then you would know. So if you're not following me on Instagram, shameless plug, go follow me, right? Go follow me. Anyway, so I moved because of that. Like we are planning a wedding, and I was going to move eventually anyway. So it was better to do it earlier and get things going, get the ball rolling. It is a lot more cost effective to live somewhere where you don't have to pay rent, especially when you're planning on building a house and having a wedding and all those other things, right? So that right there is why I moved, because I was paying rent and Lamb is not paying rent, but he was coming to my house regularly, like probably like once a week, like to spend a weekend. But even though he was there on the weekends, he was traveling from where I live back home to where he lives in South every weekend, which was costing a lot of money to do. And then we tried him coming down to spend time by me for like about a month to see if that would work as well. It didn't work. We were just spending a lot of money. So it didn't make sense. Like, it was too much money to travel back and forth for him. And then on top of that, I have rent, I have my kids to send to school, I have all these other things that I'm paying for. So that did not make any sense. So obviously, because of that, we decided moving was the best option. So that way we don't have to pay rent. So that the money that we're not paying in rent or paying for him to travel to my house every weekend, we can save and start building our house and start planning. Question I know people have. I saw it on my TikTok, I saw it on my Instagram. I have not seen any of it on my YouTube, but on my Instagram and my TikTok, people are like, why did you quit your job? Oh my god, how could you leave your good 9 to 5, blah blah blah? How could you leave Port of Spain? I would miss Port of Spain, da 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 da, this and that. Why I quit my job is a lot, it has a lot to do with, again, finances. Like, just like it would not have made any sense for Lamb to travel from South to Port of Spain every single day, it does not make any sense for me to travel from South to Port of Spain every single day. Especially with the salary that I was making, I would have just been spending money to travel to it. It wouldn't have even been enough for like a babysitter for Shay after school and stuff. It would not be enough for that. It would just simply be the amount of money I need to go to work every day. I would be making no sense other than paying transport. So why? And then I could just get a job here when the time comes for me to get a job and everything. So for now, it made more sense to not work there. On top of that, when I started that job was frustrating me, it started to frustrate me, and I really didn't want to leave. I really didn't. Guys, I struggled struggled with the idea of having to leave my job because I knew I was making good progress in my job. I was, doing things to elevate myself, and I had plans for that job, and I wanted to grow in the company and all of that. But life happens and your plans change, right? So leaving the job was the best option because it wasn't paying me enough to travel that far. Mm-mm. Even if I wake up hella early and take the water taxi in the morning to Port of Spain, it still would not have made sense. Like, we calculated all of our options. It just didn't make sense. Traveling would mean when someone has to pick up she from school, I don't have anyone available to pick her up, because moving here means I'm away from my family, like really far away from my family, really far away from my best friend, really far away from everybody and everything that I'm used to and that I know. So the last thing I want to do is leave my kids stranded in school. School finishes at 3 o'clock, and when I travel, it's a 2-hour drive for her to be stuck till 6 o'clock. She can't be stuck in her school till 6. No. She can't be stuck in her school till 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock with nobody to pick her up. Because Lamb works, he finishes work late. So either way, she still wouldn't get picked up till like 5, 6 o'clock, which don't make no sense. So next burning question that people have, I know this sounds like a Q&A, it's not, it's just that I know people have been asking these questions, and answering these questions are going to help with me explaining everything that's going on. So next burning question is, where are the two older kids? Where is Brandon and Sakura? They are with their dad. Brandon is doing exam this year. He's in Form 5. And Sakura is doing her exams next year. She's in Standard 4. So it does not make any sense to take them out of the school that they're in right now and transfer them to schools down here, because that makes no sense. Like, Brandon is literally on the verge of exam. He literally has mock exams for the next 2 weeks. Then it is Easter break, and then after Easter break is actual exam. So why are we taking him out of school to put him in the next school? It doesn't make any sense. So he will probably do Form 6 down here. I don't know yet. That is something that we'll think about after he does exams. But for right now, he is with his dad and so is Sakura, because again, she is in Standard 4, almost in Standard 5. To transfer her and have her get readjusted to a new school and new people and, all those different changes while she's preparing for exams next year does not make any sense for my child. I do not care who thinks that I should not have left them with their dad, or I should keep my kids with me, or I'm not seeing my kids, or especially the people who think you leave your children to go and live with a man. I don't really care what they think. It is what's best for my children. Once they are done with exams, everything is going to be different. They are going to be here a lot more, and they are still going to be seeing their dad a lot, just like normal. So mind your business, but that's that. And then last order of business is why I decided to create a homestead. I decided because I've always, well, not always, when I was a kid, I hated gardening. I hated it. My mom used to like to plant her plants and take care of them and this and that. And I would always be mad. I would be like, hey, woman, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to wake up bright and early on a Saturday morning to go outside and weed out plants and transplant this and pot that. And I don't want to do that. But I realize now that is something that I do enjoy. On top of that, I want to grow my own food. I definitely do want to do that. Like, I don't know if you're seeing, but every time you go to the market, every time you go to the grocery, things are just more and more expensive. Literally, just recently, like about a week or two ago, they came and they said the price of chicken raised. All right, every time you go in the market, tomatoes, potatoes, seasoning, veggies, everything just risen, and I don't like having to spend all that money when I could probably just grow it myself. Sure, it's going to take some time, and while it's growing, I'm going to have to buy veggies in the grocery. Yes, even after I have my vegetable garden and I am growing things myself and it is producing fruit and whatever for me to cook, I am going to have to still buy some things in the grocery, like rice and flour and the things that I cannot produce myself. But it's going to significantly cut down on my grocery bill, because I went to the market this morning and I spent $180 on cauliflower, broccoli, bananas, potatoes, tomatoes, onions, carrots, and planting. That's it. 8 different things. And I spent $180 something. So if I grow it myself, the amount of that I'm going to have, I'm going to be able to store it. Things like broccoli and pak choy and those things, I can cut it up, put it in the freezer like I accustomed doing with the market vendor stuff, and still have it for myself to cook and not have to spend all that of money. So yeah, it is going to save me a lot to do it myself. Not to mention I have the space to do it. So why not do it? Ever since I became an adult with children and stuff like that, I was like, hey, I should like grow my own food. I would love to do that. I would love to like own my own property and plant a garden in the backyard, grow my own fruits and vegetables, and just enjoy like a country living kind of way. And now that I kind of sort of live in the country, I mean, this is not as country as Trinidad could get, but it's in the country still. I live in the country and we have a lot of land space, so why not utilize it? Why not raise a few chickens and grow some veggies? Why not? So that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you guys are here for it. Okay? So that is my brief explanation. So let's get into the rest of the vlog. I will show you guys all of my veggies that I have started so far. I'm going to show you guys the stuff that it already has on the property because they already have like some fruit trees and stuff on the property. So I will show you guys that later. But for now, I'm going to cook and I will get back to you guys later. It is crazy raining in this place. I wanted to go downstairs to show you all everything that is downstairs, but look at this. And then it's going to be wet and soggy when the rain stops. So I'm most likely gonna have to wait until tomorrow for y'all to see everything downstairs. Look at it, look at it, look at it. I'm gonna put my garden in the back there because there's a whole big space in the back there, so that's where I'm gonna put my garden, back there. So enjoy the rain. Good morning, Island Farm. It's a new day and today looks quite sunny. I do see some clouds, but it's mostly sunny. So let us hope that it doesn't rain like yesterday. So I'll be able to take you guys downstairs today to show y'all the garden and everything that's happening downstairs. Okay? So first off, let me show y'all what I'm going to do because I'm going to do. Okay? So right here are all of my seedlings that are growing. These are tomatoes up to here, and then these 3 behind here are pimento peppers. The ink bleed out because I didn't put tape on this. So spraying the plants, the water got on here and the ink bleed out. But besides the point. So what I'm actually going to do is, if you could see, there is more than one tomato plant in these cells, right? So what I want to do, I want to separate them so that they can be in their own cells. So when I'm ready to transplant them, I just have to take out one and put them into the ground. And on top of them, on top of that, I want to give them room to grow. Because if you see, this has more in it, and this has started growing before all of the rest of them, but they are not growing too well. And I feel it's because there's too many seedlings in one cell. So let's transplant these babies. I have the potting soil here, which I'm going to soak with water and then fill these extra cells here and put these tomato plants in it. Okay, so I am done transplanting from these cells into these cells. All right, hopefully that does not affect them and they can continue to grow because I know I disturbed them while they were really tiny. This cell right here has 2 baby ones that are sprouting as well, but they're so tiny I didn't want to like mess with them or anything like that, so I left them in there. So now, not counting those 2 little babies, I have 15 tomato plants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. However, this one is all curled up and weird. I don't know why, but this is what it's looking like. Hopefully nothing's wrong with him and he'll grow healthily. But this is where we're at. None of the other seeds have sprouted yet. This is sweet pepper. lime, lemon, and this one is black pepper. So hopefully they sprout. I know they say that it takes longer for peppers to sprout than tomatoes. That is why the tomatoes sprouted first. These peppers here are peppers that I planted before these tomatoes. These were the set that I planted downstairs in the toilet paper roll, and they sprouted. It took a while, but they sprouted. So we will see if the bell pepper and the sweet pepper sprouts, and the lime and lemon, we'll see if they sprout as well, because I've never grown a lime or a lemon tree. I usually just throw the seeds outside and they sprout whenever, right? That's what happened with my Portugal seeds. So yeah, as I was saying, that's how my Portugal trees grew. Sakura decided to throw her Portugal seeds in the compost bin. I then took the compost and I put it into my plant pot where I had my plants at the point in time. I think it was tomatoes and stuff I had growing, and eventually they just sprung up. So I don't really know how to germinate citrus seeds, and I heard it's very hard to germinate, but we will see. We're hoping and praying and crossing our fingers. But right now I have 10 Portugal trees in little pots downstairs, which I do have to transplant because they need to go into the ground, one, and two, there's more than one of them in a pot, which is not very healthy for them. They seem to be fine right now, but I do want to get them transplanted. So hopefully, if Shekil is not working a long weekend this weekend coming, because today's only Monday, so that's weekend coming. So if he's not working a long weekend, hopefully we can get them planted into the ground. But until then, they have to stay in the pots. So that's them right there, and those three little pots right there. It's about 10 of them, so there's like more than one to a pot, obviously, because they're in one, two, three pots. So yeah, so hopefully we can get them in the ground sooner rather than later, so that they can continue to grow and have more space, because you all know citrus trees get kind of big. So Portugal, I'm thinking of putting one right there though, but I don't know if that's a good idea. I'll have to ask you. Good morning, Island fam. Yes, I am still in my pajamas because it's morning. Anyway, for the past couple of days, I have been trying to go downstairs to show you all, my herb garden, how it's going so far since I first planted everything. But y'all, this has been the weather for days. It's literally sprinkling, but you cannot see. But this has been the weather for days. It's just been gloomy and cloudy and rainy, which love it for my garden, but don't love it for the fact that I can't go outside now. So this is why we have not gone downstairs to show y'all the garden. Anyway, since it's been raining for the past couple of days, I will not be able to show you all that. So I will have to end the video here, and I will definitely try to see if I can show you all that in the next video. So thanks guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out my next video. Bye bye.